ready to groove? It's the ABC show. We're learning and dancing with the data flow.
Hey everyone, Notorious Squirrel, and here we are with the Banshee by the Wired Hatters running Ghost ESP Revival firmware. This has quickly become one of my favourite devices. It's now an everyday carry for me, and the more I've been using it, the harder I'm finding it to put it down. So, in this video, what my intention to do is, or in this series of videos, is to go into each individual suite or each individual tile menu and go through those individually. So for whichever session you want to start with and learn, you can go into each one of these videos. So without further ado,
Welcome to the Notorious Squirrel YouTube channel. Get ready for some chaos.
that to come through. But as you can see, they're beautiful. That logo never gets old for me. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So for today, obviously there's a series of things here, menus you can go through. It does BLE, Wi-Fi, GPS, compass, infrared, NFC, has inbuilt apps, clock, Ghost Link, and then the settings. But today what I want to concentrate on is Wi-Fi. So the overview of the Ghost EP's Wi-Fi capabilities: it offers scanning, monitoring and portal tools that run on device, and then it's got scan networks, captures packets, deauthenticates. You can do a terminal, you can do a screen mirror, you can go on GhostNet and use this through there. You can go on a screen mirror and does all sorts of evil portals, karma attacks, captures handshakes, aerial detection. Yeah, it does it all. But to get started, I'm going to do a separate flashing video as well. But what we want is, and again, what Wi-Fi attacks are. So Wi-Fi attacks sound complex, but they're built on a few simple ideas. And it's my aim to explain these and go through these now. So what is a Wi-Fi attack? A Wi-Fi attack is an action that disrupts, intercepts or tricks Wi-Fi networks to devices. Most attacks fall into two categories: passive and active. Passive means that you listen and record without sending anything. An example of that would be capturing packets to see what devices are on a network. An active attack is that you send frames or signals to change how a network behaves. An example would be sending deauthentication frames to kick devices off that. So common attacks: packet capture. Records all Wi-Fi traffic on a channel, saves it to a file or a PCAP format. You can analyse the data later to see what devices are connecting, what SSIDs they're looking for, or extract handshakes for password testing. Obviously, a lot of these things are illegal if it's not on your own network. Deauthentication sends a fake disconnect message to a device or a network. And karma attacks, evil portals. Let's just go through each one step by step. So a deauthentication sends a fake disconnect message via management frames to disconnect a device, forcing it off a network. This tests network stability, forces devices to reconnect so they capture their handshakes, or disrupts a specific device. Again, very illegal. Then you can spam beacons, rickroll, and do a list. Obviously these two will do it without being connected to an access point. This you will need to scan and then connect to an access point to get the list. EPOL logoffs, I'll describe an EPOL shortly. EPOL DHCP starve. A DHCP starve is basically where your Wi-Fi network only has a finite amount of IP addresses to hand out to devices. What a DHCP starve attack does is it basically rents all of the rooms in the inn, so no other devices can connect to your network, allowing you to start and initiate certain attacks. So you can start and stop that. Karma attack. So a karma attack is where it pretends to be a Wi-Fi network that a device is looking for, tricking the device into connecting. This intercepts traffic from the device and tests how they behave when connecting to frame networks. Obviously tricking devices is illegal, don't do that, don't be a skid if it's not on your own network. And then go back, scan and select. So scan access points. This will just basically scan all of the access points in your local area, so you will see what network traffic is in your area. Scan live. This will do a 5-second baseline, capture that and then report back, and it's not like a live running order. Scanning live APs will basically continuously scan and show you what comes in and out of your vicinity. Scan stations will show you devices, basically clients. Scan all APs or scan all will do access points and clients or stations. Then once you've done those scans, you can list it to see the information that it gives, and when you do a scan, it will give you a series of information: WPA, what network, 2.4 or 5 gigahertz, the SSID name, the RSSI strength, things like that. Same with the stations. So then once you have done this, you know what network you want to connect to. There will be a number next to that network. Use that to select your access point. The same with the stations. Tracking APs and tracking stations. Once you've connected and you've selected that access point or that station, this will use the RSSI strength to locate that device. So the closer you get to it, the lower the negative number. The further away you go away from that station or access point, the higher the negative number will be. And that is a dBm. Oh, go back, sorry. Environment. So a sweep will basically scan, and this is a really cool feature and a really cool tool. A sweep will basically scan everything in the vicinity. It looks for flippers, it looks for NAT, it looks for everything this is capable for, APs, stations, the whole 802, everything. So it'll scan everything. Pine AP detection is all Hack5 is running system for Pineapple, Wi-Fi Pineapple and Wi-Fi Pineapple pager, and then channel congestion will scan what channels are being used around you at the minute and sort of what count of devices are on those as well. So that'll take 5 seconds, and then that should then kick up. So yeah, 3, 10 and 11, and there you go, and there's that number of devices. That was environment. Network, so once selected an AP, you can then scan the LAN devices, you can ARP scan that network, you can scan for open ports, which is really cool, and then you can select a LAN as well. Capture, so in this you have probes, DAuth, beacons, RAW, EPOL, WPS, PWN, 802.154, and then listen for probes, it's just an open listen. So if we go back up to probes, this will run a probe capture. So a probe records probe requests so you can see devices searching for known SSIDs. Capture DAuth records deauthentication frames to diagnose disconnect storms or targeted kicks. A beacon records beacons to review advertised SSIDs and channel metadata. RAW dumps every Wi-Fi frame seen on the tune channel for full analysis afterwards. EPOL captures WPA, WPA2, 4-way handshakes, PMKID messages, and rekeys. So you can validate client authentications or export the flow for offline key cracking. Then again, you can use that for things like Jack the Ripper, Hashcat, like all that kind of fun stuff. WPS captures WPS captures Wi-Fi protected setup traffic to confirm whether a router exposes WPS enrollment. PWN records frames from pornography devices. 802.154 records IEEE 802.154 frames. Again with the specific channels, and then a list of probes just as like an open listen, I believe. So come back out of that. That was capture. Evil Portal. This is a fun one. So an Evil Portal hosts a fake Wi-Fi login page to test security awareness. So this is a very nice person, social engineering. It creates a fake Wi-Fi network that shows a login page when users connect. In this login page, it prompts you things like Google or local railways or McDonald's or Tesco's or things like that. Certain things that you just sort of look at, and if you're not paying attention, you can throw in your login details and then not realise why it's not working. Free Wi-Fi. If you ever see anything that's advertising free Wi-Fi, it's me. Don't connect to it. And this all gets saved to your SD card as well. But yeah, Evil portals are really cool, really fun for a test environment. Also, you can put your own Evil portals on, so if you go onto certain GitHubs and things like that, you get some really cool Evil portals, but they're also really fun to make your own as well, really cool. So you can start that runs it, you connect to it via your normal Wi-Fi connecting media, and then to stop it, you just stop it. And that stops capturing, but all of that information gets sent back and logged and recorded on the SD card. So just flip that out, throw it in your computer, and see what people have been putting into that for you. Once you've done Evil portal connection, this just connects to a Wi-Fi network, whether this is your own in your test lab, or whether if you are on a pen test scope, then you can use that, and you've cracked some hashes, you can then use that to connect to that network and then do various different attacks directed to that network specifically. From connection, you have MISC, TV cast, which I believe just throws random YouTube videos at the nearest TV cast you can. Power printer, start messing around with printers in your environment. To use this, the easiest way is to jump on GhostNet. There is a specific tab on GhostNet where you can then connect to the IP address of that printer. Obviously, you will need to be connected to that access point that printer is on, so you're on the same IP, and then you can then dial into that printer and start messing around with it, and then TP-Link test is a TP-Link test. So yeah, that is the Wi-Fi suite. If there is anything in there that you would like more of a deep dive on or to understand, please hit me up in the comments. But other than that, happy cracking. Peace.
You are tuned into the notorious world. To the notorious world.